Example 1, solve the following one-step equations. We're going to be subtracting and we're adding here. The idea here is that to solve, we need to work backwards from BEDMAS. So you see here, we start with brackets, then do exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. But when we're solving, we're actually going to do the subtraction and addition first, then the multiplication, division, then any exponents, and lastly brackets. And that's what it says here. We need to get around the brackets here. So that's going to be last, but sometimes we can get around them a different way. So we could do that first. But really the first step here is getting rid of subtracting or adding using the inverse operation. We'll explain that. And then you can get rid of any division or multiplication, again, by using the inverse operation. And lastly, you can get rid of the exponent using a root. So we're looking to start with the addition subtraction. That's what we're looking to do first. And unless there's brackets, then again, we'll deal with that. So example 1, the whole idea is that we need to get the x alone. Now it should be obvious that that should be a 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. But what we want to do is to create a system that we can kind of get the answer for everything. So to do that, we need to get the x alone by removing any numbers. So this has plus 2, so we're going to remove the plus 2 with the inverse operation by minusing it. And you do that on both sides. Now, 2 minus 2 will cancel out, leaving, and I like to rewrite the equation right here, x equals, and then we can rewrite 5 minus 2 is 3. And then I like to put a box around the final answer. So again, what did we do? We got rid of the plus 2 by subtracting it. 2 minus 2 is 0, so I eliminated it, I crossed it off, and then I rewrote. All I have left is an x, so I wrote it down here. And all I have on the right is a 5 minus 2, which I made a 3. So here, I need to get the x alone. So let's first get rid of the minus 6 or the negative 6, and we can do that by adding 6 to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Now, 6 minus 6 is 0, so we can cross that off. And what else do we have on the left side of the equal sign? Well, all we're left with is an x. On this side, we're left with a 20 and a 6, but we can write that as 26. And then put a box around it. Now, if you checked it, and you said, hey, if I put that answer back in here, 26 minus 6 is indeed 20. So you could check that. And later on, we will get to something like that. Now, again, I need to get the x alone. So instead of minus 6, I will go plus 6. And again, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So I'm going to put the equal sign here. So whatever I do to this side, I have to do to the other. So I'll go plus 6. Now, negative 6 and a positive 6, those are gone. I can cancel them out. And all I have left on that right-hand side is an x. And on this side, I have a negative 2 and a 6. I have 2 bad guys and 6 good guys. The good guys will win. There's going to be 4 of them. So x is equal to 4. Now this does, you have to kind of read it this way. X is equal to 4, or 4 is equal to x, but you can just, the whole idea is to get x alone. So we don't mind if the x is on the right or on the left. It doesn't really matter. All right, take a look at this. You want to get the x alone. It says plus 16. So I will minus 16 and I will minus 16. Whatever you do to the left, you have to do to the right and vice versa. So I've got my equal sign here. All I have left on the right is the x because those are gone. 16 minus 16 is 0. On the left-hand side here, I've got negative 12 and negative 16. So I have to put those together, and I'm going to get negative 28. I'll do that in black here. Negative 28. And now the x is alone, so I can put a box around that. If you didn't know how to add it, I've got 12 bad guys and 16 bad guys. They're both bad, so they're going to be adding up together. Off to the side, you could do 16 and 12 and add them, because again, they're both bad. 6 plus 2 is 8. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's how I got 28. But of course, they're both bad, so I made mine bad as well. So I'll just zoom out here so you can see all 4 questions, and then we'll get on started on to the next ones.